Hello, welcome to Sunfire Designs. Today I am going to be making a polka dot flower, and I'm going to be using ISTOYO resin this time, just to see if it works as well as it did for the atomic flower. I mixed up 200 mils of ISTOYO, and I'm using my crystal edge mold, the first mold that I had officially made. I had made one before, but this was my first video that I made was for this mold, so it's seen some love. I've used it a lot. So I'm going to use this, and let me show you what else I'm going to use. For my base color, I'm going to use Carbon Black, Liquitex Carbon Black, and I put 6 drops in here and 50 mils of liquid of resin. You can see that is not dark at all. It looks like it's pitch black. You can barely even see it on the stick. So that's first. I felt like I could probably keep going dark, but 6 drops is an awful lot, and I'm not sure. I think it's weird because different resins will take color differently, and this particular instance, it did not. It needed more black than I usually use. So, and of course I mixed it really well, but as I'm scraping it out, it's kind of making a few streaks. So I'm just going to kind of lightly, I'm not touching the bottom. I am just mixing it in the mold. There we go. Not perfect, but it's probably not going to matter. All right, so what else do I have? I have 30 mils of ISTOYO Magic Red. So that's a nice pretty red. I was going to use Senshi Red from Eye Candy, but I wanted to do this because it's a little more subtle. This one, I'm pretty sure I put too much red in. This is 35 mils, and I put 5 drops of Naphthol Crimson in it. So this is going to be super, super red. And then I have 35 mils with 2 drops of Let's Resin Ocean White. And then for my center, I've got black stones with silver microbeads. And then the rest of my resin is clear for my push. And yeah, so we'll get started with that red. I'm kind of wishing I made that black a little darker. We will see what happens. I think this is going to probably end up being more pink than it will be black, but we will see. That first puddle there was really big. Came out a little faster than I wanted it to. That's okay. It's all right. It's all going to be good. Here we go. You can really see the red against the black. I was hoping that the black would like darken the red overall, you know, so it would be more, turn into more of like a dark red, or not a burgundy, but like, you know what I mean, just a darker red. I keep saying thinking burgundy, but that's going to require, I think, a little purple too, which I am not doing this time. I do love red and purple together. They do make a really pretty color. There we go. I can hear like 3 different TVs in the other room. I think my son fell asleep with his TV on. I think my husband's watching TV in the living room. I guess that's only 2 TVs. My TV in here is paused. I usually listen, like I was saying before, I listen to my true crime, or I like documentaries. So I do that while I'm mixing up my resin, and then I pause it when it's time for me to record. And I cannot remember if I mentioned it in my previous video, but one of the classes I teach in my high school is forensics. So that is another reason why I really am into the true crime. Back when, you know, I've been teaching forensics for years and years and years, and it was back when CSI first started becoming a thing and got really popular. And there's a lot of science in crime scenes, you know. So I pitched it to my department head, like, hey, what if we had a forensics class and taught about the science of it? And so it started off being just a 1-semester course, and it was like biotechnology on one semester and then forensics on the other. And then it ended up being a full year course, and I got to write the curriculum for it. I'm going to do my my magic red now. But anyway, I got to write the curriculum for it, which was so fun. I was the first person in my district to teach forensics. And then people would call me and ask me like, hey, how did you come up with your curriculum? I had someone want to buy my curriculum. I wish I kind of wish I would have sold it to him. But yeah, a lot of people wanted me to just give it away. And I did. I shared it a lot just because that's kind of who I am. I like to share and have everybody have the same opportunities, because I know it's hard. Sometimes people don't have the same opportunities in life or whatever. And I know I can't afford to pay for resin classes. So, I mean, I have paid for them in the past, but I can't afford to do it on the regular. So I just wanted to share with everybody. And yeah, so I did that. And now there was one year I had 5 periods of forensics during the day, which was fun. I didn't teach anything except for forensics. Unfortunately, now they've turned it in, it's an elective and not a science class, even though I teach science in it. But I still use my own curriculum. I have 1 class of it this year. I think next year I'm going to have 2. So I'm super excited. I love teaching it. It's my favorite thing. And it's fun because the kids don't have to take it. They want to take it. It's always a choice. Even when it was a science, they had the choice to take it if they wanted to, because they could take, you know, they had to take biology, and then they usually had to take like chemistry. And then after that, they could pick another class that they wanted to take, since they had to do 3 years of science. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. I have good students. We do fun stuff. And we just finished doing blood spatter, where we got to see how blood falls at different heights and angles. All right, I'm going to do my white now. And before that, we did blood typing. They won't let us use real blood, so we have to use fake blood. But I think next we're going to do arson. And I don't light enormous things on fire, but we get to burn like different chemicals to see what color they burn. You may have done that in chemistry class. Or I get to, we burn different fabrics to show how they burn. And when I had kids, I have kids. When my kids were little and they had like the fire retardant pajamas, I would bring those in and we would see if it made a difference. The fire retardant pajamas versus regular polyester, because they're both polyester, and see if it was, you know, harder for the one to burn than the other. It actually was. It would light on fire just as easily, but then as soon as the flame was taken away, it went out, which is good. I mean, it still can burn, but at least if it's going to do that, is if you remove the person or the clothing from the flames, it will stop and you won't have to like beat them up to put out the fire. Of course, I don't like to think about that happening to anybody, but it's a safety thing. Anyway, so that's fun. And tomorrow I'm actually doing a mini demonstration with some of my coworkers, and I'm going to show them how to do blood typing. So it's fun. It's fun. All right, I'm almost done with this. Drop, drop. All right, so now I'm going to do my push, add my center, and then we'll be done. How beautiful clear that is. Oh, I just love it. ISTOYO is super clear as it is, and then using that mixer, I need to actually just like put that in my bio so that you guys can go find it in case I forget. I highly recommend you get that mixer. It is probably one of my favorite like resin tools, you know, of all the things that I've used. It is one of my favorites, if not my absolute favorite. Like that and the heating mat. I do have a resin cure machine that my beautiful friend Tammy got me. And I love that too. But those are my favorites. All right, gonna add my stones to the center. All right, and poke that around. Okay, there we go. All right, I'll put a little time lapse on really quickly, and I'm gonna let it kind of close up, and when it finishes closing up, or when I'm ready to go in the other room, then I will torch it. But I like how it has these, this is how you get the big petals around the outside, the big puffy petals, is you have your red, your mica, and then you have your white on there, and then the white moves in towards the center, and it just kind of drags and makes those really big petals. So there's something I figured out and learned from this. One way to make those really big puffy petals, and then everything else in the center kind of comes down and under and makes the white goes into the center. So like this comes and gets pulled inward, and then it doesn't really drop down directly. It's kind of weird. It goes like, it comes into a point when it stops, and then it goes back out and up and around. I think that's what happens. I don't know. That's my best guess, but this does create beautiful, beautiful puffy petals. So, all right, I will see you in the morning when it's time to unmold this. Okay, let's see what we've got. Did ISTOYO work for this? Oh, I love it. I love it. That came out so cool. I love these little bubbles in here. Oh, so cool. ISTOYO did it again. One little piece of mix-up mica I missed. Otherwise, everything is beautiful. I love it. I like the dark and white. So pretty. You can see like the layers. So cool. Let me know what you think. I love it, personally. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.